to be starting this long weekend together, this Shabbat together, this Chag Shavuot, this holiday of Shavuot together. How good it is indeed to be together. Is it me?
We got a rumble in the building.
How's that? Oh, okay. I think we're good. Oh, nope. Should I?
It is the flowers. Should we use these? Is that easier? Well, they're not on right now, so. Peanut galleries. It's not coming from us. Who is it coming from?
Okay, who's got the mic?
Today is the day from on high that we receive, so.
Don, would you like us to switch just to the Bema mics? Would that be the easiest?
Yeah, let's see if the lavaliers behave, and then you can switch.
Okay.
We got a rumbling.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
We may have it now. Seems quiet. Is it quiet out there?
Coming back, it's you, it's me. It's me, right? It's me, okay. I'll turn off. Boy, you can't make clergy wordless, speechless pretty easily, so this is impressive. How's this? Great. And you all know I'm so good at standing still while leading services, so this will go fabulously.
And Don, where should I be?
Wherever you would like to.
So is my lavaliers okay?
Why don't we-
Okay.
Let's assume it is.
Okay, I don't think it's on though.
No, I turned.
Okay.
It's me,
We
I
will
think.
get this.
No, it is you tonight.
Maybe we should share this since,
Yeah.
yeah, why don't we
Okay.
take one of these?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you remember all that warmth we shared with Hinei Matov? We're going to bring it right back into this sanctuary while we de-lavalier in front of you.
So we've been really looking forward to this evening. It is not often that Shavuot falls on a Friday night, and so we're actually able to celebrate Shavuot in its time. Sometimes we have to move it to a Friday night, but now it is actually here, and being Memorial Day weekend. And at the end of a week that, that our country and our world and all the things that we seem to have to say every week, just an invitation to you all that as the sun sets out there and that you have these beautiful flowers in your hand. And of course, Shavuot is one of the holidays on which we observe Yizkor, our memorial service. And we know that there are people in the sanctuary here for the first time tonight. We welcome you both. And so we begin with Yizkor, with our memorial, with our remembering time. We remember on this night of revelation and return, we call to mind those through whom life was given to us, those who taught us, shaped us, loved us into being. Some are near in memory, their voices still echoing in the quiet spaces of our days. Some feel farther away, their presence softened by time, yet no less real.
We remember not only who they were, but what they gave us. The words, the gestures, the ways of being that took root in us and continue to grow. Like the mountain at Sinai said to have burst into bloom in anticipation, so too do their lives continue to bloom within us.
May their memories be a blessing. May their teachings unfold in us gently and steadily. And may we carry them forward in the way we live, in the way we love, and the way we take in even this present moment. So as we enter this time of Yizkor, we invite you to take the flower. If you don't have one, you're welcome to go back. There's plenty more on the table back there. And just to hold the one that is already in your hand. It's so interesting to see the flowers you chose. And feel free to just go back there and grab one. And if you're joining us online, you might have flowers on your table. Just feel free to get one in your hand as well. You might hold in your heart the memory of someone, a person you miss, a person who shaped you, a person through whom you first learned what it means to receive. This flower can be for them, or it can be for a teaching you carry, or for something in your life that is just beginning to open.
If you feel comfortable, we will take the time. We'll invite you forward when you feel called. It's not in order, and just because the person next to you goes doesn't mean you've just been voluntold. But we invite you to come forward, to place your flower. You'll see as you get closer that there's actually wire. Your flower will be held here in these containers. And to share, if you'd like, a memory, a name, a story, just to come up and place a flower and your quiet presence and to return to your seat. But we are building, we hope, a place of beauty and of memory, a place of transmission and of creation. And of course, if coming forward doesn't speak to you, we invite you just to hold on to your flower throughout the service, to let it be a gift of beauty, just to sit with you in this time.
Put your flower. Okay, great.
Hi. Andy said Charlotte and Martin.
My oldest brother just passed away yesterday morning, and so much to say about him. His name was Jay Zitnick, and he was sort of like a flower. He had a very, very difficult time communicating, and yet he radiated love. People loved being with him. And so this flower really reminds me of him, you know, radiates love just by looking at it. So this is for him. Oh.
This is for my mom and dad, whose names were Jack and Gittel, and whose names have been passed down through the generations to my grandchildren. And we knew that we were always loved, that whatever we did, they would love us. So this is for them. And that's my mother's earring.
So this is from my mom. So when you said I could tell a story, that was, it's short. It's short like me. So my mom was really smart, and she always did the New York Times crossword puzzle. When I was really little, like until the age of 6, she always did it in pencil. And then her big brother came to visit with his family from California, and he ridiculed her, as any older brother should, about the pencil. And after that, until 2 days before she died, until 2 weeks before she died, she always did them in ink. And I remember that as a really fun story, but also as a measure of her love for words and writing, and a lot that I learned. And I started doing the New York Times crossword puzzle when I was 11. Not on the subway. If I was not on the subway, then I did it in ink.
This is for my mom, Linda, who loved to plant things.
This is for my mom, Charlotte, who also did the New York Times crossword puzzle in ink, first thing in the morning, no more than 15 minutes. So I never had the opportunity to do it myself because there it was, all done. So I started doing it online about a couple of months ago, so I'm feeling your presence.
This is for my mom who's here. Yeah, in a couple months I will be at college, and all that will be left of me in her life are her memories of me and the calls that I will definitely be giving her every day, but I will not be physically there anymore. And I want you to know that I will always love you no matter how far away I am.
This is for my father, Bernie, who showed me for all the years that we were together total unconditional love. And he also did crossword puzzles in ink.
This is actually for my two fathers. My biological father, who was not only my disciplinarian, but also taught me how to use my hands and taught me how to be in the woods. And my father-in-law, who was more of a partner and a teacher in business and in his later life. So I was very fortunate that way.
This is for my mother, Sarah Lasky, and also for Tim's mother, Eileen Collins.
This is for my grandfather, Ernesto German, who was, to my family, the best father and grandfather that we could have asked for.
More than one can come up at a time. You don't have to stop if somebody else stands.
Okay, this is for both my parents. I'm thinking especially of my dad and what he gave us sitting on the couch and reading poetry before bed.
I've been thinking a lot about the art sites of all four of my grandmothers and my folks whose yard sites are in July and August. So this is for all of them.
So this is for my parents, Arthur and Pearl, and today in particular for my mom. This is her 15th yard site, which is a little hard to wrap my brain around. They were always very supportive of me, especially of my music. And I used to have a concert every summer, and they would come use that occasion to visit. And we always had a tradition of going on a whale watch together. So that was a really favorite activity for all of us. So this is for them.
So this is for my mom, who died when I was 9 years old. And in those 9 years, gave me an extraordinary amount of love and taught me that I deserved to feel love. And I have the copy that she used to read to me of Ferdinand the Bull, who loved to smell the flowers. So. This is for my dad, who wound up, he married a wonderful woman, my stepmother, who I am so blessed to still have in my life, and is still the person that my daughter goes to, lives close to where she goes to college, so she still goes there anytime she needs to just get away and get some R&R, so I'm thankful for that.
This is for my father, who we just had his 4th yard site, which is kind of hard to believe. And throughout my childhood, we did double cross sticks together. I think we used pencil.
This is for my grandmothers, Bee and Minerva. Bee for her wisdom and Minerva for the twinkle in her eyes.
This is for Diana, who gave birth to my younger child, Dee Dee.
These are for my father-in-law, Guy, who passed away 7 years ago this week. And he was very proud of my wife and took great delight in being a native Floridian and sharing the natural beauty of Florida with us.
This is for my parents, for my mother, with thanks for giving me the love of music, and for my father, who I thank for giving me the love of the Chicago White Sox.
This is for my parents, who taught me to do crossword puzzles in ink, and taught me so much about life that as I get older, I understand more. And also for Al.
This is for my mother, Farah, who gave music to me in my life, and my father, William, who loved me.
This is for my parents, my mother, who we did not do crosswords, but we did do Scrabble, and my father, who through his quiet strength and determination gave me the ability to do things I'm passionate about now.
And so this is for my father, Marvin, who passed 7 years ago, who taught me to fix just about anything, and also would tell me that some people have a way with words and some people no have a way. I credit him for my sense of humor as well.
This is for my mom, Nina Ewall, or Nishka, and she died in 2012. And she gave me lots of things. You should ask my wife about it.
This is for my parents and my in-laws, who always showed me love and supported me and boosted my confidence.
So there's a lot of leaves on here. Well, there's not that many, but there's a lot. And so I was looking at this. I didn't know what we were going to do tonight. I had no idea. And so I was thinking that from the root, which you know I love that song, She's just going to keep laughing now. Some people know what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, so from the root of my family, my grandparents and before, but I didn't know before them, so my grandparents take up some of this. Gertie and Harry Malman, and Dora and Isaac Kianowski, so that's this level, I guess. My parents, Toby and Jerry Malman. But then as I get on here, I see cousins of various sorts, a lot of people that I miss and that I'm thinking about. And the top, I was thinking about my cousin who passed away last July, who was my age exactly, and who I spent the last 3 years of her life every week with here in the Boston area. And sort of, she was the tallest one, which was sort of interesting. And then she drooped over, but somehow. But at any rate, she was the tallest person in my family, which was kind of interesting. And also, in some ways, I mean, the reason I thought of this was because she was one of the founders, and some of you are familiar with this organization, of the Boston Justice Accompaniment Network. And so she was very involved in social justice, and it was really important, and taught me a lot about that.
This is my grandfather. I guess the one memory that I have that I really treasure with him is that when I told him I was trans, then twisted me, I am my grandson.
There are those in our lives whose presence is an immediate and obvious gift and blessing. And there are those blessings that come generations later, decades later. We don't see at first, perhaps. And sometimes they come to be, to add beauty in our lives. And this time of memory, this gift of sitting together with the blossoming, with the beauty. Some of us chose flowers that prickle. With that as well, in our thistles, there is in each of our hearts something that we carry, and by bringing it here into this sanctuary, together we hope we build something beautiful that blooms and offers blessing to all.
Rishrush shel Hama
invite you to rise in body or spirit for the recitation of El Malei Rachamim.
El Malei Rachamim, Shochena B'Maromim, Hamitzeh Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShekhinah, Im Kedoshim Utehorim, Kezohar Harakia, Mahazhirim, Lenishmot Yakirenu Shehalchu LaOlamam, Ba'al Harachamim Yastireim, Beseter Kenafav LaOlamim, V'yitzror b'yitzror ha'chaim et nishmatam Adonai hu nachalatam, V'yanuchu b'shalom al mishkavam, V'nomar Amen. God of abundant compassion, God Most High, may the soul of our loved ones who have gone into eternity find the gift of perfect peace in your embrace, together with the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold them close to you forever so that their souls may be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May they find a home with you. May they rest in peace. And together we say, Amen. You can be seated as we read together. At the rising sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of the autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have decisions, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. For as long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Carrying in our hearts all who are named, all who are unnamed, but whose lives have been a blessing, we rise in body or spirit, calling to one another for the presence of community, to hold the wholeness of memory. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Hei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. You may be seated. As we make the transition now into our Shabbat service. I am holy, you are holy, we are holy, all is holy, holy. sing one last Kadosh? Judy, would you honor us with coming up to light our Shabbat candles on this evening of your mother's 15th yortzeit? Let's sing, Judy, up. Kadosh, 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 Kadosh. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlek ner, lehadlek ner, shel Shabbat and Yom Tov. And because we are on a Yom Tov, if you have a prayer book, we'll turn to the bottom of page 1, Shehechianu, thanking God that we have reached this moment, this season. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
The biblical descriptions of the revelation of Torah to the Israelites are rich and dramatic. Of course, they've been the subject of books and films. And while the tablets that Moses brought down from the top of Mount Sinai were etched with the 10 Commandments, the Hebrew words Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 utterances or speakings, our tradition understands the Sinai moment as the revelation of Torah at its broadest sense, the entire compendium of Jewish wisdom, the 10 Commandments, the books of the Hebrew Bible, Tanakh with their 613 mitzvot, the later commentaries, the Talmud, the Jewish law, and all the wisdom that has followed in each generation.
When we speak of Torah in this broadest sense, there is no end to its revelation. It is constantly unfolding and being revealed to us and from us when we engage in learning, when we are connected. The revelation of Torah is ongoing and includes the interpretations that each one of us have and those that the generations to come will bring. When in our own wanderings we come to Sinai, tradition teaches that God speaks to each one of us directly in a language we will understand, that the mountain of revelation appears to us on our journey when we are ready to receive the truth of our connection to the source, to each other, and to all creation. In that moment of revelation, just like with our biblical ancestors, all becomes clear.
In honor of the revelation our biblical ancestors received, in celebration of this moment standing together at Sinai, and for the future generations, we would like to share the contemporary interpretation of the 10 Commandments written by Rabbi Shefa Gold. And it is customary when hearing the 10 Commandments to rise in body or in spirit. Obviously, God is the true reality. Bowing down to my own illusions would be silly.
Of course, I cannot hurt any other living thing without hurting myself. We are a part of each other.
Of course, there is no need to steal. Who is there to steal from but another member of the larger self, of which I too am a part?
In that moment of revelation, it will become clear that the desire that has created such turmoil within me is based on an illusion of lack. Connected to all of creation, I am rich beyond measure.
And certainly, my father and my mother must be honored. They are my own flesh and blood, and they gave me this precious life.
And yes, in that moment of revelation, the beauty and sanctity of Shabbat becomes clear. How else can I remember this moment of freedom that revelation brings, if not by stopping and receiving the miracle of creation anew each week?
You may be seated. We turn to page 11, singing Shabbat in just as the sun tucks itself to sleep and sends its last rays of light to us. We'll sing stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad ishmi'anu el hayuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Hashem u'tiferet ve'litila Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha ki mekor ha'baracha merosh mikedem nisucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Hit'oreri, ki va'orek u'mi'ori, ori, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzahara, tov emunei am segula. Bo'i kala, lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela.
We turn to page 16, calling each other home into this sanctuary.
Baruch Hu, dear one,
On page 18, an interpretation of the Ve'ahavta on the right column. Open your heart and mind to the glory of the One, and seek after holiness with all your might. These words, which have commanded our people through all generations, shall be in your heart. Teach them to your children. Speak of them at home and when you travel, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them to your hand as a reminder, and let them be an ornament on your brow. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Page 21.
La 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 la. We've often talked about the Sukkah of peace, that's Sukkot Shalom, and what it would look like, what the fabrics would look like. Right now, the way the sky is out there with the stripes of purple and blues, I wish everybody could have just this view. If you can see it, that's what my Sukkot Shalom would look like, that canopy of peace. And as we turn to those words of Hashkivenu Ufros Aleinu, a poem by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt, spread over us the shelter of your peace. Not like the stories of a Sinai suspended overhead, a crushing weight of our fear of impending doom, but enfolding us in the softest blanket of sky. Sit on the edge of the bed, God, and stroke our hair as night gathers us in. Open us to dreams. Show us every soul who ever was and ever will be standing with us now on this starlit hillside. We are Ruth, curled at your feet on the threshing floor. You are our protecting, redeeming God, source of grace and mercy. Spread your cloak over us. Let your revelation renew us like precious dew. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shalomecha. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot Shalomecha.
pray the prayer to be able to pray together in community, the 6 words at the top of page 25, Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. And then we'll take our time for our own silent Amidas. And of course, the windows beckon, so feel free to answer their call.
Rise in body or in spirit, page 25. If you have a prayer book, we'll do these first 6 words together. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha.
Turn to page 130. Open our hearts to those who are in need and in search of healing. Praying their name here in this sanctuary brings them to us if they can't be, and promises we will be with them in their time of need.
As a community, we are praying for the healing of Andy Birch, Karen Grossman, Nathan Rome, David Rome, Karen Owen Schwartz, Nan Owens, Paul Schlichtman, Liliana Walheim Martinez, Paula Small, Ethan White, Joe Mansfield, Lynn Bishop, Barney Weinstock, Richard Schur, Stanley Roth, Richard Milbauer, Neil Daniels Bidman, Deb Bintman, Debbie Gilman, Andy Jeff, Annie Graham and her family, Anya Cabo, and Sue Boardman. If there are loved ones you'd like to mention, we'll start in this section over here. Caroline. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Andre. Thank you, Audrey. Heather.
My sister Nancy Stockmore and my other sister.
side of page 130, joining our voices together, sending these prayers, this energy of healing wherever it is needed. Mishaberach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yevarech v'Yirapeh et hacholim.
Turn back to page 31. Nope, we turn to page 99.
Ozi v'zimrat ya.
Nope.
Page 90.
I'm gonna get it right eventually.
Page 90 is the third song down. Ozi v'zimrat ya. Let's break it down, choose your part. God of life, God of unfolding, on this night of Shabbat, of Shavuot, of Yizkor, of rest and revelation, we give thanks for what has been given to us, for the lives that came before us, for the teachings that took root within us, for the quiet ways love continues to shape who we are. Like blossoms opening in their own time, may we continue to grow, faithful to what we have received and open to what is still becoming. May we carry memory as a blessing, not a weight. May we receive Torah not only as words, but as life. And may we leave this place rooted, renewed, and gently unfolding.
Amen. Turn to page 44, returning to a moment of memory as we turn to the closing of our service this evening.
And this week, we are remembering with Hai his brother Jay Zitnik, who died just yesterday. In this time of Shloshim, we remember Joel Zauderer, we remember Hannah Hyman Adler, we remember Harriet Snyder and Paul Jacobson. Yortzites for tonight include Phyllis Strauss, beloved mother of Bonnie Alpert, is the yortzeit of Pat Urich, wife of Jeff Zegas and mother of Sam and Greg Zegas. It is the yortzeit, as Brett said, of Guy Hill, father of Jane Hill, his father-in-law and grandfather to Hazel and Paige. In this year of memory, we are remembering Alan Travis, Mark Frater, Diana Sanders, Connie Stolo, Susan Bloom, and Ed Snow. And if there are other yortzeits you are observing tonight, please raise your hand. We'll start on this side for Kaddish Mindy.
For those named, for those who have no one to say their names for them, we become a community engaged in the holy act of remembering. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach leolam b'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be an abiding blessing. May we live our lives in ways that honor their memory. You may be seated.
There is Torah study tomorrow morning at 10:30, both in person and online. And just a few quick announcements. There are still, I believe, a few tickets left for the Red Sox Jewish Heritage Celebration game that is taking place this Wednesday night, the 27th, at 6:45 at Fenway Park. So if you are interested, you could still get in on that. I just wanted to mention that next Friday night, May 29th, is our second, I believe, intergenerational Shabbat service. So there is dinner at 5:45 and the service will begin at 6:30. And this service will feature our Shir Tikvah band, Shir Joy, and we just warmly encourage you all to attend. And lastly, if you have served on a committee, been on the board, if you have greeted at the door, sung in the choir, played in the band, or contributed in any way to life here at Temple Shir Tikvah, you are invited to enjoy our fabulous volunteers brunch that takes place on Sunday morning, June 7th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here in our building. And this brunch is designed as a way to express our deep appreciation for the energy, care, and commitment that each one of you bring to our vibrant community. So please make sure to register for that. I wanted to say to the poets and to the poetry lovers, our annual Summer Solstice Poetry Shabbat is soon coming. It'll be on Friday night, June 19th. And the prompt, if you are interested in it, you can also just bring whatever you'd like, but the prompt that we're working with for that night is delight. So I just wanted to get your juices, your creative juices flowing on that. And before we say Kiddush and Motzi, and we're going to head down one floor for cheesecake and ice cream and non-dairy treats as well in celebration of this holiday, we'd like to end with a song this called The Traveler's Prayer, Tfilat HaDerech. This music was written by Debbie Friedman of blessed memory. May we be blessed as we go on our way.